Hello, people. Welcome back. Welcome back. Another episode of Views from the Friend Zone. I am your boy Sensei. I shall not tell a lie. And I got a beautiful guest host with me this week. I'm going to let her introduce herself.
Hello, my name is China.
China. This is a special episode, all right? Just for those who don't know, that's my baby right there. So it's like a couples episode. We're going to discuss some topics. And
I got a shout out.
Of course,
I wasn't sure you were going to say.
I wasn't either, but it just felt right.
It felt right.
This is her first time in front of the microphone. My boy Marv is not here. He's doing a family thing. We gonna miss him, but I'm gonna hold it down. In the meantime, I hope you all had a great week, or actually 2 weeks since I've been through. How you feeling, China?
The weekends suck. Every time, yeah, it's like, we were talking about this earlier, and I always feel like I need 2 more days or an added day. It's like during the work week, the week just like gets slow, and the weekend comes and you blink, it's over.
It's over, right?
Yeah.
All right, well, before we get to thinking about the week ahead, all right, we just want to take your mind away from all the nonsense and discuss some stuff that's going on in the world and some interesting topics. So we have a few topics we got to play with today. Some of a romantic nature, some of a relationship nature, but the first one is a serious topic, all right? So everybody who's anybody has seen the news this week. Y'all know what's going on, what happened in Charlottesville, Virginia. So we're going to start it off with a topic surrounding that. We all have different opinions on it. Myself and China both have different opinions on it. But I'm going to pose the question to you. Should the white nationalists and the neo-Nazis be allowed to protest and express their views as they did? What do you think?
Absolutely. I mean, I think that, first of all, with Charlottesville, we went over what you were going to discuss, but I think you need like a 3 podcast segment, like just to go through everything that happened in Charlottesville and people's different opinion.
Happened.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot. But, in terms of that topic and whether or not you're allowed, because I think the conversations that we've been hearing are about the First Amendment, your freedom of speech, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the First Amendment. Now, there is a clause to the First Amendment, right? There's a stipulation there, and that is you're not allowed to yell fire or something like that, right? You're not allowed
in a public place,
yeah, you're not allowed to yell things or say things that are going to put other people in danger. So I think that where I come from is whether or not these discussions or these protests or these conversations, are they allowed to happen, and do they fall into that realm? Mm-hmm. Do they fall into that category? And that's something that I think I'm still kind of on the fence about. Mm-hmm. I think that freedom of speech is important. And I think back a couple of years when the KKK had their rally. I don't know if it was in Times Square, or I know it was somewhere in New York City. I remember it was a peaceful protest. I think everybody was on edge about what was going to happen, but
so let me get this straight. You're all for them protesting and spewing their speech.
I'm all for let's cut the bullshit. I'm all for, like, this is not new, people. This is not something where all of a sudden people are coming out and this is a new idea, a new way of thinking. This is stuff that people have been saying under their breath. Our president has, given people a little bit of bravado and allow them to feel like, hey, I can say these things, but these are things that you were thinking. So I'm all for, not sweeping things under the rug. This is how you feel. Now we're at a point where people actually discussing this stuff and talking about it out in the public, out in the open. Do I enjoy or think it's appropriate, some of the stuff that's said? Absolutely not. And I'm definitely not for it, but I think it does allow a forum for finally being able to talk about things and maybe create some change.
See, and I'm all for change, and I'm all for discussion, all right? My thing is, and I think a lot of people have this whole thing confused. Even people who are not on the white nationalist or neo-Nazi side of things, they think like Black Lives Matter, right? They see that slogan, that term, that organization as anti anything else. And it's not anti anything. It's pro-black. And it's not even really pro-black, because pro-black was more like militant, even Black Panthers, I would say, that's pro-black. This is not pro-black. It's just saying Black Lives Matter. Can I get some respect type of thing? That's what that really is about.
But they're protesting and they're speaking.
But they're protesting to say, can we get some respect? That's it. And it's usually peaceful protest, and it's not anti-others. See, when you got these white nationalists and neo-Nazis, they're pro-white, which is fine. You can be pro whatever you want. But in your proness, don't be anti something else. Don't be demeaning others or threatening others in any kind of way, or saying others don't deserve this, they can't be here. This, because when you do that, that's when you offend people. That's unnecessary, and it causes the tension that has been caused. All right. Now, somebody says something different. Essentially, those are the losers.
Okay, wait.
The neo-Nazis are losers.
Okay,
the Nazis lost.
So I'm with okay, but here's the thing. So you're I feel like we're somewhat speaking about the same things, but to a different extent. So you're saying, freedom of speech. And when you talk about Black Lives Matter, you're talking about it's pro, it's not anti. So I feel like that falls into my concern is whether or not that's that First Amendment, right? Is that freedom of speech, but whether or not this is hate speech, and if that hate speech will incite a riot and harm, like we saw, right? Mm-hmm. Someone died. Which is usually what happens when your opinions are so left from somebody else's, right? But it almost sounds like, and I think that where I conflict is, and I'm not sure if this is what you're saying, but you're for speech when it goes in line with what you already feel and what you believe in. Then it's
not at all. I said I'm for them being all pro-white and whatever it is they have. The white nationalists, neo-Nazis,
they lost.
Be pro-white. But this is what I'm saying. Y'all are pushing. They act like they were winning, or they won. If you associate yourself with neo-Nazi, you understand Nazis lost, all right? Even in Germany, they have, and that's what this is. Everybody forgets this is all over the removal of a statue, all right? That's why this whole protest and everything took place. In Germany, don't you think they have made significant strides to get Hitler out of the system and all the things that was associated with Nazi?
Name your kid Hitler, actually.
Look at that. Look at that. That just shows that they are really trying to move on from that. Where we're not really trying to move on so much from some things, because if you think about it, we have all these statues and we'll get to discussing that because that's an important topic. What to do with those things? But my thing is, I'm not saying they can't speak. I want them to speak because I want to hear the other side. Just because I would want you to hear my side. My thing is in your speech and whatever it is you're saying. Like you said, you can't yell fire in a public place. That's not what free speech is meant for. Free speech is all about saying your belief and your stance on things, but not at the same time, I don't want to say insulting, so to speak, insulting or demeaning others. If you're not for another race because you're so pro your race, fine, be pro your race, but don't talk bad about the others, and call them evil and demons and you don't want them nowhere near, this. Like, that type of speech is not going to get anywhere. And your message, essentially, is going to be lost. Because when somebody gets offended in what you're saying, they no longer are hearing what you're saying.
I agree with you. But I think, again, it's we're touching on different topics. And it's like, I want you to speak because the more you speak, you prove my point. The more you speak, the more
essentially we agree.
So we
agree that they should be allowed to.
I think, absolutely. Okay. You should be allowed to speak. However, my concern is, again, I don't know where hate speech, and because it's so hateful, if that falls into that clause again. Does it fall? Is this really being protected by the First Amendment? But we are a democratic country. We are, in other countries, they'll kill you for, opposing the president or, other policies or leaders and things like that. And we're lucky to live in a place where we are able to voice our opinions and say, hey, I'm not for that. Again, I think something that you said was interesting, going back to, like, this is all over a statue. We had this conversation at home, like, what was it, a couple of days ago, and you had said something that made, really stuck with me. It was like, what's really happening? This is not about statues. It was, I think you told me, I don't know if it was a post you were reading, but it was something about...
I seen a post. This woman said, it's just a distraction. The media is distracting you with it. It's the story of today, because I gave her the statistics on who's killing who, and it was basically a statistic that many of us who know anything about anything should know. The 97% of black people that are killed by other black people, and 84% of whites that are killed by other white people. It's just a matter of your community, whoever's in your community, who you're around, that's who you're gonna kill. The person's closest to you. So if that's somebody of your same ethnicity,
I'm not going to jail. I'm going out of town.
I'm just saying. No. But the girl was saying in that post, she was like, "This is all a distraction." But even though it may be a distraction, it's still a topic that should be discussed because. Yes, she was trying to say, do you think this stuff wasn't occurring when Obama was president? Maybe it was, but the media wasn't putting a light on it like they are now because we have a president in office who I think shines a light on it himself. You know what I mean? There's always an agenda.
But that's because those are his beliefs. So we're going to focus, like you said, this is so media focused. Like, yeah, racism is something that has always been around, but it is part of our history. And I'm a big believer on, like, let's not cover stuff up. Let's not front and pretend something else is going on. Like, racism always existed. It's a past, it's a present, and to some extent, it's going to be in the future. Look at what is that other group, the Neo-Confederates? Y'all lost, bruh. And, y'all lost. And they still are part of it. So my thing is, like, removing of the statues, am I looking at that as a good faith and saying, like, okay, this is where our country is headed, and saying, like, we understand the wrongs that we've done, and we're going to do something to rectify that, and so we're going to move forward? Or is it, like, really? Like, moving a statue doesn't really do it for me? So,
okay. So with that, let me say, what do you think should be done with regards to that? Not just the statue. There's a number of landmarks. There was something we was talking about in Boston, Yawkey Way. I think and it was named after a slave owner.
I'm a big Patriots
it was
fan,
named
so.
after. You didn't have to put that in there, but okay.
Yes, I do, because
we're not talking about that. We go back and forth a lot.
Whatever.
Football season's right around the corner.
Yep.
So anyway,
don't
distract me from the topic, okay? We're talking about signs, street signs with names of, I guess, slave owners or people who supported segregation and slavery, as well as just different not artifacts, but different statues and stuff that are part of our history. Right? They are part of our history, as negative as they may be. So my question to you is, what do you feel should be done? Do you disagree with the removing of them? Or you think something else should be done?
To be honest, honestly, I have not. I feel like I'm on the fence about it, and I haven't made up my mind how I feel. I feel like removing the statues is not going to change history. And history is. And I think that when you start to remove things in a way to, like, forget them, you lose the lessons that you learn from them, right? I think renaming of streets, which is what's happening in Boston, and I can't remember the guy and exactly what his role was, except that it was tied to some sort of, like,
I know his name was Yawkey,
slave owner or something like that. I don't really know, but I know that that's being changed. So I think it's, in a sense, a way to try to show good faith, but I don't know that I really can. Like, I would want to see policies put in place, and I would want to see, things occur within our laws, police departments, an overall approach to how we are doing things. And if the statues is a movement in that direction, I think it's great. But I think that, removing the statues is not going to change, how we feel about it.
There's definitely more, I think, effective things that could be done to change the issues that we have in society with racism and other, discriminations, such as, there's a number of things that could be done. Like you said, legal policies and so on. Removing a statue, I'm not going to say it doesn't have any significance or it couldn't, in some way help towards where we're trying to get. My thing is, I'm for removing it, but not getting rid of it altogether. Put it in the museum. I don't want the history of our country to try to be erased away. I want it to be on, Front Street, the facts. I want it to be, if that's a part of our history is truth, let it be told. But that's why we have museums, places like that where people can go to get that information. You don't necessarily need it in the town square or in front of the state building as a constant reminder. You know, that's what the whole thing with the Confederate flag. It was just a reminder. And
no, I'm a beg to differ. I think like I didn't look at it in that sense, and I think that you're right. Having the statue was a place of honor, right? Because these little memorials and these little parks where these places where they're set up, they're in a sense of honor. They're meant to honor these people for whatever deeds that they did. So you're right. They shouldn't be in that place. Again, you can't erase history. So I'm totally for that movement, but I would definitely want to see them in a museum or something. I think that would absolutely make more sense.
All right, good. I'm
glad not just intelligent.
I'm glad you're falling in line with me on that one.
I'm just fucking shit now.
Okay. Talk it. All right, the next question on this topic, the last question actually I'm going to pose is there was a lot of Caucasian men out there in khakis and white polo tops. And I'm sure they're not all, but I'm sure a lot of them are gainfully employed. Now, my question would be does it worry you that members and supporters of these groups hold some powerful positions, whether it be law enforcement, the justice system, or even the presidency? How do you feel about that?
Does it worry me? I think that it does. I work, let's say, I work in the social work field, and one of the departments that my agency has is a track program, which is basically immigrant children that are coming across the border. And because of policies put in place because of Trump, that program completely lost its funding. I don't know what that means for kids. I don't know what that means for, the good that we were doing, other than it's just not happening. So it does worry me. And I think that it trickles down, right? People think that this is so far removed, and it's not. However, I'm in a better position than some people because I am a woman, because I am Hispanic and not a black man. You know what I mean? So I think that my concern versus your concern, and I'm not saying that to be dick, but it's honesty. It's the fact. I think that your concern as a black man is going to be very different than my concern as a Hispanic female. But I do, work-wise and stuff, I see this coming down. But am I surprised that I saw men out there in khakis and that they were...
That was just the weirdest protest attire. I think there was more of a message in that attire.
Gray sweatpants.
I'm just saying that was more a message in that attire, because we see people like that who we work with every day in that same uniform.
But
right? And it's a psychological thing.
You know there's people you
They're
work with.
letting you know. They may not say, I hate you or this, that, but look at my outfit. You know what this is about. You know what I mean? That's like a Black Panther coming to work with the leather jacket on and, with his fists up in the air. Like, that's your uniform. That's the new uniform.
But here's the thing, right? Is this surprising? No. I think if anything, it's a message for people of minorities, people black and brown, right? People of color, people in different economic brackets, right? People of poverty, that we need to get our shit together and get in positions that are going to help your community and yourself ultimately. Because what happens is, if I'm, let's say, so I'm a Buddhist, right? I believe in life, and I want to help people, and this is what drives me. I became a social worker. That makes sense. My career choice very much falls in line with my belief systems and, the things that I would want to see in this world occur.
You're affecting change.
Of course,
you're changing lives. You're saving lives in your career field, which is admirable.
But here's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that that's just what drives me. That's my passion, right? So if I'm a Caucasian, female, male, whatever, and I feel like the minority, minorities have too much freedom, or black people are really violent, or this, or whatever weird views it is that I may have, I'm going to get into a career field that falls in line with my belief systems also. So am I surprised that these people that have these views are in these positions? Absolutely not, because you're fueled by your beliefs and you're fueled by the things that you want to see change. So if I want something to change, I'm getting in that career field because I want it to change. So the same way that, these people are in those positions, it's time for, minority groups to get in positions positions to counter that and make change.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with you there. But essentially what you're saying also is online with the question. You're saying that those people in those groups, those white nationalists and neo-Nazis who have these positions of power, essentially those views that they have are going to seep into their jobs, whether it be law enforcement or, the justice system, right?
Absolutely. It would be impossible to. I don't see how you can do anything. In the parliaments, it's hard to be impartial, right? It's hard to say like, okay, this is, I would hope, this is the law, good, bad, right, wrong, right, based on what the law says. But we know that's not true because we're human beings and we're very much emotional people. And our decisions and our actions are based on these emotions. So if this is how I feel, that's going to motivate my action.
Exactly. So that's my thing. It does worry me. To answer the question, I'm worried about it, but I know that it is what it is. Like, you can't think that all of those people that were out there protesting for this with their tiki torches, which was, ironic in itself. You protesting with tiki torches. Do you know what that is about? No, they don't. But I'm just saying, those people are employed, I'm sure, and have some positions that will affect people who they essentially don't care for, and don't respect. So it's troubling and it's worrisome, you know what I mean, that's the case. But to what you said, absolutely true. If we want to make change, if we want to have the influence, to protect ourselves and our communities, we have to then take those positions. Like, I know a lot of minority police officers, and I always say to them, like, what do you do when you see like this stuff going on in the department or with other officers, or other officers are racist and stuff like that? Like, how do you handle that? You see what I'm saying? Because it's one thing to have the position, and it's another thing to actually use your position to make change instead of just going and collecting a paycheck. All right? Certain positions, you can't do that. Certain jobs is just more important than just going and get paid.
Yeah, I'm just real quick, like...
we're going to close it up.
So, the Supreme Court, right? Or the people that sit on, what is that? Politics is not my strong suit, people.
The Supreme Court.
All right, so the people that sit on there, laws are changed depending on who gets on there. So since I say this doesn't affect me, one thing that really does affect me as a woman is reproductive rights, right? So we know that abortions, Planned Parenthood, all these things that do affect women, those laws consistently change based on who's sitting on these councils, on the board, and
not consistently, because once you get on the Supreme Court, you're there till you're dead. So that's
true.
why it was such a big deal when we had the replacement.
When they get replacements, we're always like, women are kind of sitting there crossing fingers, crossing toes, worried, because we know that if you get and not to shout any specific group, but a Republican or someone who's completely pro-life, and all these rights are going to completely be stripped. When Trump got into the presidency, I felt like my degrees and everything I worked was stripped away from me, and I was put an apron on, that an apron was thrown on me, rather. So, so things, and it's hard because it's like, these are things that do affect me as a woman. I just wanted to kind of,
I got
for the women, kind of just
absolutely.
shout that out, because those are things that do affect us.
It's a great transition into our next topic, all right? Because our next topic is all about the women, and it's interesting, things are affecting women, every day, different views or, what have you. So our next topic is about body shaming. Recently, Rihanna was called fat. I seen a picture of her. I think she looks amazing as always. I love Rihanna.
I'm aware you do.
Don't get jealous, all right?
Listen, I love isn't that one of your freebies or something?
It should be.
Jason Momoa's on mine.
Yeah, she has put on some weight. And, it looks good to me, but I see all these people talking about Rihanna's fat. Like, how can you even say that? So the question is...
If Rihanna's fat, I'm going on crack.
Yeah, this is crazy. It's crazy talk. She's amazing. But I want to know, are there unreal expectations for women and how they should look these days?
I need 3 more shots.
Listen.
If you realistically, so here's the thing, right?
But wait. Okay, my that's the question.
Okay.
But okay, no, we answer that question first. Then we'll go to the second part of it.
Oy, 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 oy.
Are there unreal expectations for women and how they should look these
Absolutely.
days?
Not just how we should look, how we should behave, how we should act. I think being a woman, and I can't speak. I'm sure men have a lot of pressure and stuff, but being a woman's hard. You want to be the 1950s woman, right? You want to take care of your man. You want to cook. You want to clean. You want to have a good house. But you also
not too many women these days want to do that. I don't know what you're talking about.
The good women. See how you act.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Listen, I know I got a good one. The good women, they want to do these things.
No, but it's okay.
The new age women, new age woman, not good or bad. The old school women.
Okay, so I was raised. I'm Caribbean, and I was raised very old fashioned. So like, you came to my house, and within 5 minutes, my mom was like, "You ain't gonna give him a plate of food." I was like, "His coat is not off, lady. Like, I got this. Don't worry." But that's just the way that I was raised. So there is that expectation, and then there is the thing about also wanting to be that millennium woman, right? The career woman, be able to support yourself, be intelligent, be strong, not stronger than your man, but strong. And it's just this constant. And then you also want to be beautiful, I mean, I spent, you got to wax this and trim this and get your nails done, and your feet got to look right, and your body, there's just this whole expectation of what you should look like and who you should be. And I think it's tough. I'm Dominican, well, a quarter or 50%. I don't even know anymore because I'm so mixed.
She done said shit about 18 different things since the show started, right? Yeah, she's so mixed up. Every time you go into a subject matter, you're like, okay, so I'm Caribbean. I'm
really mixed. I mean, but what I'm saying is, the reason I'm going to talk about specifically being Dominican is because we know there's a whole lot of plastic surgery that occurs in DR.
They got a sale, ladies, this week only. You can get those butt injections for half price. Now, let me stop. That is not true.
I mean, I think, and as a woman, you can walk down the street and you can be the most secure person, but it's not to say that 10 women that walk by, 9 of them are not going to look better than you or as good as you or whatever. So there's definitely a need to be very confident in yourself and be very secure and say like, okay, this woman is beautiful, but she has, it doesn't take anything away from me. But I think that because there's this, like, the Nicki Minaj and the Kim Kardashians, and we're so media focused,
that's
and
the second part of this,
and there's this image that women are supposed to portray. Because I'll be damned if you think I'm gonna start talking like this. That's just no, like that, yeah.
Well, listen.
But I mean, but that's what it is. There's the media perception, right? And what I think that sometimes people, because they're so social media based, that they take that wholeheartedly and think that that's what women are supposed to look like.
But what I'm saying is this. Okay, is it more? The second part of that question, by the way, what is it? Is it what they feel men want them to look like, right?
I think so.
Or is it these other women, mainly, like you said, in entertainment, trying to look like that? Because I feel like women are harder on each other than us men. Listen, I'm all like Kendrick said, I want to see some stretch marks. You know what I mean? I want to know it's real. I mean, I don't mind, you glamming it up. Even a fake boob here and there, if that's what you want to do, if that makes you feel more confident.
Nope.
Okay,
happening.
I'm not going to judge you because of that. But I do like the naturalness of a woman. You know what I mean? Stretch marks are natural. That means your girl got some cake, especially. She ain't going to have no cakes and not have no stretch marks on it. It's just not, that's not how nature works.
Well, I think, definitely women are brutal, right? Women are certainly brutal, and women will tear each other apart, which is sad, instead of, bigging each other up and bringing us up. But, women are penis motivated.
She took it there. I
mean,
would you care to expand? No, don't expand.
I'm saying, at the end of the day, we do things because we want a man, right? You want a man, you want that security, you want someone there, and you want to hopefully be able to say, like, my man's not going anywhere, you know? He has the baddest bitch. Not only am I fly, I'm intelligent, I make money, I do this. You want to kind of have all those kind of checks, dot your I's and cross your T's, because you hope your man ain't going nowhere. The truth is, if the nigga gonna go, he gonna go. Point blank.
So it's about...
So it's an unrealistic approach to wanting to be with someone, you know? If you're confident and you're comfortable with yourself,
That's
and
the
the
key
person
word.
you're with is comfortable and happy with you, he's not going nowhere. That other stuff... I mean, I'm a woman, and some of these chicks I pass by, I can't stop looking at them, and I am certainly not a lesbian or a bi. But, you know, but I look because I'm like, God damn, what the hell? Like, you can't help but stare. So what is a man?
And sometimes it's not true.
Sometimes
but this
it's
is
just weird.
This is
it's
the
a little
thing.
Scarier.
What you said is on point, but the key word in that is confidence. I feel like there's a lot of lack of confidence. There's a lot of self-conscious women out there who maybe have not gotten the proper upbringing as far as being told that they're beautiful constantly. You know, that's one thing with my daughters. I try to always tell them, I'm like, you're beautiful. You're beautiful. I emphasize it over and over again because I don't want them to not feel beautiful enough to be who they are and love the skin that they're in. Like I said, I don't have anything against people who choose to make changes to their body. They feel they want to improve on something that they have. But I'm like, embrace what you have. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's somebody who's going to love you. And I honestly feel like us as men, yeah, we like the girl with the big old booty, the breast pile, the waist small, right? You know, but we can appreciate a woman who doesn't have all of that, who's our ride or die, who holds us down. You know what I mean? And we can connect with. That's the thing. You can have all of that in place. Bow, 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 top to bottom. But if you don't have what's necessary inside, you're gonna always be lacking. You're gonna always be searching.
I'm gonna have to bake you a
eventually, eventually that stuff is gonna fade. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing. Like, excuse me, how you look like you 25 and your insides look like you 60? Like, dude, it don't matter. That's why, ladies, I'm gonna tell you right now. You get a man you like, get naked in front of him and go, this is what you got. This is what you get, boo. This is it.
Listen, wait, hold up. That's not a good because these dudes out here settling for anything right now at the moment. Cat Williams said it best. I ain't gonna be, oh, look at her nails. I am not getting into that. What is that? Fuchsia?
Nah,
we're not gonna sweat that.
No, I'm in that boomerang stuff. If I was a dude, I'd be
you looking at the toes?
I'm looking at, dude, okay, so when I was
you ain't screwing her toes.
No. When I was in middle school, I remember some guys saying, dirty nails, dirty. If you don't clean your toe, you don't clean your nails, you ain't clean the rest of you. So if I was a dude, I have to be a little picky and be like,
no, that's good logic. I mean,
let me see the feet.
It does make sense. If you can't do the proper maintenance on the small things like fingernails and stuff, you gotta say, well, she's probably not doing that extra maintenance neither. You know what I mean? But I'm not just gonna say women wear heels these days. It's hard to have nice feet when you wearing heels every day. That's what I'm saying. It's hard on a woman.
But I think it's hard on a guy. Because look, you get these women. Listen, I'm very natural. I ain't gonna lie and say I don't own a push-up bra too, but you know what I mean. But it's moderate.
We don't mind that. That's
it's
not.
Moderate.
Listen,
what is the movie?
What's the tummy tuck joints?
Oh my God, what is that movie?
We don't have no problem with those or the push-up bras. Oh yeah.
When she's like,
you can't be taking off your legs. Nah, you can take. You could take off your hair. You can take off your eyelashes. All right. You can't take off your butt. Please, you can't take off your butt. I can't accept that.
They have those
you can't take off
the
one of your legs. And I don't have nothing against anybody that's handicapped. Because listen, as long as you let it be known. Don't wait till we're about to get it in and you're like, oh wait, let me take this leg off and throw it to the side because that's just gonna ruin the whole mood.
That's sexy in some cultures.
No, but let's get back on topic.
All right.
All I'm saying is, men, I feel, do not have as much of a issue or put that pressure on women as much as they put it on themselves. I honestly don't feel that that's the case. I think maybe if you feel like men there's certain pressures on you to please a man, then that's not the right man for you. You see, I think you looking in the wrong area, especially if that's not who you are, and now you got to go above and beyond and be somebody else. You want to find somebody who you are good just being who you are, and if that's not good enough for them, there's the door. You know what I'm saying? But y'all women, y'all are something else. Like it's a constant competition. You know, and not you.
I'm like,
that's not you. Y'all, you representing the women of today, unfortunately.
Okay, all right.
And the women of today is crazy. But it's like a constant competition, you know. Y'all examine each other. When you go out with a woman, she is not getting pretty and sexy for you, my brother. I just want you to know that. She's making sure she is right and tight for the women that will be at the establishment y'all going, because they are going to examine each other up and down. And she don't want nobody talking about how she looks.
All right, so I'm going to have to exclude myself from the representation that you have put on me.
That's a fact.
And say, no.
That's
because when I get dressed, I want to make sure that you know what you got and you're focused. And I think I'm very, a very comfortable person and very relaxed. So I'll forget. I'll put on the sweatpants and not comb my hair and be like, all right, you know, because you also fall into that kind of frame where you get too comfortable, right? Being with someone and during, let's say, the work week, if I don't see you, I'm in like heels and makeup and I'm dressed. And then when you see me on the weekends and I got a ponytail, no makeup and sweatpants on, it's not always cute, you know?
That is the cutest. See, I'm a different type of dude. I'm a different type of dude. Not all the time, no.
And that's why I love
not
it. But
all
every
the
now
time.
and then you gotta pull.
Not all the
you gotta
time.
pull the fucking dress out of the closet.
Yes.
Every
yes.
now and then. I'm just saying, not all the
Yes.
time, but I think that, you know, going back, I think that you're right. We put a lot more pressure, and I think back to like women who go out and buy like sexy lingerie and spend like $200 or something and put on the heels. And
But that's good because that's for your man.
No,
that's
but then,
for your
but
man.
then they'll be like, he didn't even look at it, girl. 5 minutes, it was off. You know, just like completely didn't acknowledge the panties set or the.
All right, so
but
tell me, hold on. Tell me what is expected of us in that moment. Are we supposed to? I mean, the point of you wearing that is to get us to the point where we want to rip it off. You know what I'm saying? I can admire. How long am I supposed to admire it? How many compliments am I supposed to give? I need to know this.
I don't know, man. This is hypothetical.
Okay, because listen, I appreciate that. You know,
but I'm saying we're you're a mess. But I'm saying we're going to that in that, you know, area where it's like, okay, I did X, Y, and Z, or I did my hair, or I did this, and he didn't even notice. He may not care. That may not be his focus. So sometimes as women, we get upset because we're like, and I've been guilty of this, right? Where I'm like, I did all this. I cooked dinner all day. I did my hair. I cleaned the house. I did, trying to make like a big effort. And then you feel unappreciated. But he wasn't looking at that. Sometimes. You know, that wasn't his focus. His focus was coming home and just maybe hanging out with you or doing something else. But he didn't realize all the prep, let's say, that you did for that moment. And the prep was never important.
Yeah, I would say it's appreciated by the right.
Yeah.
We're wrapping up that topic. I would say in closing, just you got to have confidence in oneself, you know, and be the best you can be, okay? Because whatever glow you got inside will shine outside. No bust size or, you know, waistline or booty size is gonna make you more of a catch, you know, temporarily, maybe, yes. You know, you might get somebody for the night, but it's not going to keep anybody's interest for the long run if you don't have that substance. You know what I'm saying?
Confident women. That's what it is. I think nothing is more attractive than having confidence. I think that is always going to attract people, regardless of, you know, if it's someone you're trying to be intimate with or whatever it is. It's just that confidence will definitely speak volumes.
That's right. You got confidence, don't you?
Hell to the yeah.
A lot of confidence. Confidence is key. Confidence is so attractive. Both ways, right? Women love a man that's confident and, you know, got his swag right. And men, we love a confident woman. You know, a confident woman who don't need you. We was listening to Neo last night, right?
Yeah.
Who want you but don't need you. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, let's get on to the next topic. This is about love. I'm sure we've all been through some good relationships, bad relationships we like to forget, people we like to forget.
That's called
Unfortunately,
selective amnesia.
selective amnesia. Yes, I need a lot of selective amnesia.
You have
these
a
days.
lot of selective amnesia.
But, it's about that thing we have in our head called the brain. And it's uncontrollable. But even more uncontrollable is the heart. So this is loving the wrong one, this topic. We got two questions on this. The first one is, how do you stop loving someone you know isn't right for you? We've been in relationships before, been with people before who we probably were in love with or loved, but we're not with them now. So at some point you must have realized, this is not right for me. And you may have stuck it out. Some get out immediately when they realize that, but some stick it out. So what would you say? How do you stop loving someone you know isn't right for you in a relationship?
So the smart answer would be that you assess and evaluate. And I'm laughing because I know this shit, I'm lying right now.
You can't assess and evaluate affairs of the heart. That's the thing.
But that's the problem. But that's what I'm saying. That's the smart answer. The smart answer would be, and I'm gonna say, I think age is a big difference, and where you are in life, and lessons learned, and wisdom, and all these things come into play with that. I think when you're truly in love with someone, you probably wouldn't be able to get out of it until you hit rock bottom, and that's just the truth. I think, again, the smart answer would be like, this is where I am in life. These are the things that I want. Does this person, these actions, whatever is coming from the relationship, conflict with where it is that I want to be, right? Those assessments, those analyzing.
Analogies?
I don't know.
What are you talking about?
Am I Hispanic?
I don't know. Those analogies.
Okay.
I got what you're saying.
So
I
analyzing stuff and saying, okay, this is where I should be, and I'm not there. So that's a smart decision. But when you're in love, you don't see those things. It's not until way after that you're able to be like, okay, yeah, this didn't work out for me, and this is not right. But I think the truth is, when you hit rock bottom, that's kind of when you stop.
Then there's determining your rock bottom. So how I would answer that question is,
I got nothing.
How do you don't? I don't think there's any specific way to stop loving someone, even if you know they're bad for you. I think you have to go through the motions, and eventually you just get fed up and you want more. So essentially what it is you have to want more for yourself, okay? Because when you can't get out of that situation, it's because you're used to settling. A lot of us don't want to be alone. You know what I mean? Not the case with me, but it is the case with a lot of people, usually women. They
get the hell out of here.
Usually women, they be with these bum dudes they know is not right for them, but they be so scared to be single. Man, we embrace being single. We would be like, it's go time.
Nope, that is not true.
Women are afraid to be single, so they will stick it out with this bum dude who they don't love. They know don't love them, but they just like, hey,
I need this back.
He's there for the moment, and I know, he want to do right by me, but he just can't.
No. You went there.
Right? I'm just saying.
Okay,
that's the type of stuff they'll be saying.
I think that it's hopeful, it's wishful, and I think that this is what happens. You meet someone, and we've had these conversations, right? When you meet someone, you think they're cool, you like, all right, I'm gonna kick it with them, and let's say after like maybe 4 months, you start to see the real person, not that person that
the representative goes away. Everybody meets the representative at first.
So you start to see who this person really is. But now it's not just that representative went away. There's things about your own personality and your own character that you don't even know, right? Little things that you can see being on the outside in. So you're like, all right, you learn that other person for the next 4 or 6 months. Now you in it for a year. Then you start to see stuff like, I don't really like. And you're like, I already got a year in, so maybe not. And then you spend the next year breaking up. Now you together for 2 years.
You spend a year breaking up.
You spend a year breaking up.
How many of y'all can relate to that? A year breaking up. That's real.
Relationships are like approximately 2 years. And this is my little relationship synopsis. So you end up about 2 years, I got this much in. I dealt with this much. And the shit you know is better than the shit you don't know. And that's always the truth. So people are like, all right, this person
I hate that. I hate that term.
But it's the
hate
truth.
that phrase.
It's the truth. And you know it.
The shit you know is better than what you don't know. That's scary talk.
It is. But here's the thing. My thing is, like, there's people that come into your lives all the time, good or bad. And these people, whether we like it or not, they mold us, they shape us, they change somehow what we thought, what we believed in, whatever the case is, whether it's good or bad. You were supposed to meet that person so you can learn something and move on to the next person. So when you get to that person that you're meant to be with, you're ready for them. But people get so afraid that they're never going to meet someone, that they stick with this person that they were not meant to be with, that they were just supposed to learn something with, or learn something from, rather. And you stuck, and now you mess up the whole goddamn chain.
Oh, I like that. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. I would say that, you know, it's hard. It's hard, but me, and this goes back to what we were talking about before, confidence. If you're confident in oneself, you can love somebody, you know, and be in love with them. But then if things aren't right and you realize this is not for you, you say, damn, it's going to be hard. You know, nobody wants to start over, especially if you got 2, 3, 4 years in, maybe more. You know, it's hard to leave a relationship, you know, especially if you're like, oh, man, I could have worked on it more, or is there something I could do to make it? Sometimes it's just not for you. Like you said, you were there to learn something from that person. You got what you got from that relationship. And now taking what you learned onto the next relationship, that may be the one for you. All right.
I'm sorry. I'm just laughing because I'm thinking about being a teenager and like having that guy that you thought you was so in love with, and you knew you was gonna get married, right? Like this dude was the dude for you, and he broke your heart, and you was crying in your room and locked the doors and the lights is off, and you want to talk to no one, and you know you sitting there, got hearts on the
listening to
notebook.
Miseducation of Lauryn Hill on repeat.
And you cry, listen, and then you end up on Khalees. I hate you so much right now.
Oh my God.
And you mad as hell. And you like, I'm never gonna get over this. And then a couple of years later, you like, what the hell?
That's how
was
it feels.
I thinking? Like, what was wrong with me? You know, when you in it, it's just so much more difficult.
I've been there, so I can
We
attest
all
to
been
that.
there.
And people say, oh, you can't replace it or just try to move on. There's the term rebound for a reason, okay? Rebounds are real. Dennis Rodman is a Hall of Famer because of rebounds, all right? So a rebound can help you get through something that you had to deal with before.
But how many people don't end up with the rebound thinking that was, you know, oh, this was the right person?
Well, that's why I would say this should be a time frame in which you move on. But the key is to move on.
What's the time frame?
I can't, it's not a specific time frame, but there should be some time. You should not end a relationship, somebody who you so-called say I love you to, and they said I love you back, and then just jump into something new.
Absolutely, yeah.
You should take some time, be to yourself, not saying don't date other people or whatever. Definitely date other people, see what's out there, but don't just jump into a commitment, you know, immediately. And I think that will help it flush out, because if you don't have that time in between and you just jump into something new, you're going to carry all of that baggage and all of those feelings from that previous relationship into this next relationship. And it doesn't stand a chance.
Absolutely.
It don't stand a chance at all.
Luggage is luggage anywhere.
Sow your royal oats before committing.
You know what? I'm with you, boo.
Prince Hakeem. Do it, my guy. Nah. Okay, so wait, the second, what happened?
I'm totally with you.
You
I'm
with me, right?
Women, you know, there's a thing about, oh, that's a guy thing. Hell to the no. You need to know, like, what you like, what you don't like. Because the worst thing is a woman that doesn't know. How many guys don't go on dates and, like, what's your favorite restaurant? What do you want to do? I don't know. Pick something. Anything. Isn't that a common response that you get on a date and the guy is kind of left like, what the hell do I do with this chick now? You know what you like, know what you don't. And the only way you're going to know that is by going out and doing things and having fun. And, because you also, no woman wants to be left at home. There's that perception of like the Virgin Mary and what we're supposed to be like, and don't drink and don't have fun. I'm not saying be crazy, don't go out and be a hoe. That's not what I'm saying, but
yes, go out and be a hoe for a time. Get the hoe out your system. That's what I'm saying. Get it out your system.
But definitely be in a place where you know what you like and what you don't, so that you are making good decisions.
Well said. Well said. Message. So the last part of this, we're going to close it up with this question here. What's your breaking point in love? I think we all have to know this, for us to move on and get out of that bad situation.
That dude that stole the money from my bank account. That was my breaking.
I didn't expect you to personalize it so much.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
But that's real. So, I mean, we all have one, or should have one. So, what is your breaking point in love? What is the point in which you say, you know what, I just can't anymore?
Certainly, being a parent, anything that falls within the realm that messes with my mommy stuff. So, my daughter, if she's not happy, if I see her going through anything, if there's any boundaries or disrespect being crossed, infidelities is definitely like, right. I mean, that pretty much is it. I'm very loyal, and I think that anything that crosses that, to me, is too much. But I don't know. I mean, I think it also, overall, I would have to see where I am in life. You know what I mean? Like, if you are in a good place and all of a sudden you're with someone and it's like bank accounts are depleted, you lost your job, family ain't messing with you. Like, if you're just in a negative space and all the...
But it takes all of that. It's not one specific thing?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I have to... I don't know. I think that it's hard to pinpoint. There's definite things that you're like, yeah, nope, too much. This is not for me. I'm out. Bye. Like, I'm jumping on that little rowboat and, I'm out. But, I mean, but those are kind of it. Like, I think those are typical infidelities, things that deal with my daughter, because my daughter is my life.
I mean, that makes sense. You know what your breaking points are, and you got a multitude of them.
Yeah,
I do too. But I think at the top of my list is when you're in a relationship with somebody, y'all are on the same team. Y'all got to support each other, right? It's us. It's team us. If I don't feel like you support me how I need to be supported, then I can't be with you. I can't call you my girl. You know what I mean? You don't support me. I don't mean support me like take care of me. I mean just have my back. Understand me. Try to anyway. I don't understand myself all the time, but be understanding of me. Be supportive of me. Be supportive of me, and, you can't be nasty. Like, I don't mean nasty like clean, but that is I wouldn't even be with you nasty, not clean. I'm talking about nasty like your attitude. I can only deal with so much attitude. All women have attitudes. It's expected.
How about people? Can we say
no.
people?
Sorry. I don't mean
butterflies and sunshine.
All people, men, women, all people have attitudes. But women show a little more often. They're not afraid to show it.
Welcome to the Sexiest Show starring...
you take it there? Damn. Anyway, I'm just saying that's my issue. I can't deal with a constant attitude, an angry woman. Even if I cause that anger, if that's the case, and you're going to hold on to that, and you're still angry about something that happened a year or two ago, what are we doing? We're wasting our time. You see what I'm saying? So the anger must be temporary. The communication must be clear.
It's not a little selfish. I'm just saying, it sounds like you said...
It's not selfish. It's my breaking point.
But you're saying...
my breaking point.
I did something to make you angry, and you angry about it. I can't be with you because you mad at me?
No, you misunderstood what I was saying. You can be mad. I expect you to be mad, but how long you going to be mad for?
So there's a time limit on how mad I get to be. You mad?
Yeah. You can't be mad forever.
right.
I give you 6 months. I give you 6 months to be mad, depending on how serious it is.
It is your
you know
breaking point.
It could be pretty serious.
My apologies.
But you mad more than 6 months, then you're not happy in a relationship. So now you hurting yourself because you're just angry. Nobody wants to be angry all the time. Nobody wants to be around somebody who's angry all the time. So that is my breaking point, and you might still love somebody, but sometimes love is not enough.
Yeah, I agree. Relationships definitely take work, and if I had to pinpoint anything, listening to what you're saying and stuff, happiness is definitely something that's very important to me, and I'm a happy person. I'm the annoying
All
happy
I
person.
really want is to be happy and to find a love that's mine. All right. No Mary over here. No Mary.
Yeah, so, I'm all like butterflies and rainbows, dude. Unicorns. I'm legit happy
You better
all
stop
the
using
time.
that stuff.
Honestly, you would think I do, because I'm happy from the moment I wake up, and it's, I don't know if it's being a Buddhist, I don't know what it is, but there's a sincerity, right? And you know me well, so you know this, like, I am legit happy for every breath that I'm able to take. Like, I cherish and love my life. I love the person I am. I love my family, my friends.
And that's contagious.
And I'm always like, that's just me. From the moment I wake up, I'm the person that you want to smack, because I'm like, huh? I'm always happy. So if I was involved in anything that stripped that happiness from me, that would be an issue. Like, that's a sign, like, it's time to get the hell out of here.
That's your breaking point.
You can have money, anything, but you got to be happy in life.
Indeed. I agree. And that's a great way for us to close out this week's episode of Views from the Friend Zone. I hope you've all enjoyed it. I hope you all got something from it. You want to say something to...
My daughter got a job, people.
Shout somebody out. Yeah. Shout out to Trin getting the job.
My daughter Trinity got her first job at Babies R Us. So I am very excited.
Shout out to Trin.
Got to teach these girls to be young women, to be women one day. And I'm hoping that I am definitely doing that. So my daughter got 2 jobs, because she was actually started babysitting too. So
Okay. Getting that shmoney. Bringing some shmoney in the house.
So yeah, baby.
So I just want to say, shout out to my boy Real Talk Marv. He'll be back next week. Shout out to Bacardi Dog. Thank you to China for coming through. She was great today. I thank y'all for listening, and shout out my little minions, my beautiful daughters. They out in Florida right now, doing it up in Disney. And my boys MJ and Carmelo. I miss you guys. So I just want to let everybody know that from our topics today, don't let racism keep you down. Don't sweat the everyday struggles of society. Love will find you, but first you got to love yourself. That's the message for the week. Love thyself. And that's a wrap for us. Whoop, whoop.